The most watched soccer match of the day in the UK wasn't on the pitch, but rather playing out in the pages of newspapers, with the country's public broadcaster pitted against its highest paid sports personality.
Morning. Morning, Gary.
The BBC forced to rip up its weekend soccer coverage after its most famous presenters, pundits, even players boycotted the broadcaster. Why? It all began this week when the British government proposed a plan to deport almost all asylum seekers arriving on small boats across the English Channel, including those fleeing war and persecution.
They will not stop coming here until the world knows that if you enter Britain illegally, you will be detained and swiftly removed.
Among the government's critics, Gary Lineker, former soccer star turned host of Match of the Day, the self-described world's most famous football show watched by millions every weekend. Lineker had tweeted to his 8.8 million followers, "The policy is immeasurably cruel, directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s. The political right roundly criticized the tweet, which on Friday the BBC announced was a breach of its impartiality guidelines, adding Lineker would step back from presenting Match of the Day until we've got an agreed and clear position on his use of social media, a decision fans overwhelmingly rejected.
Well, I think it's outrageous.
I think he's entitled to his free speech, outside his job, and he didn't do it during a show.
I support him. I'm glad to see that other players and other pundits have supported him.
Lineker's fellow hosts and those on other programs refused to work this weekend in solidarity. And the union representing Premier League players confirmed they would not be asked to give post-match interviews to the BBC.
Well, I'm very sorry for the disruption today. It's this balance between free speech and impartiality. And I honestly do not believe, despite a lot of the commentary, that this is about left or right.
The opposition accused the broadcaster of succumbing to political pressure.
The BBC is not acting impartially by caving in to Tory MPs who are complaining about Gary Lineker. They've got this one badly wrong, and now they're very, very exposed.
As for the Prime Minister, he's defending his immigration policy and says the current situation between Lineker and the BBC is a matter for them, not the government. For City News, I'm Caryn Ceolin.